Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today, the one and only Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Hello. How are you today?
I am just fabulous. Today we're talking Love Hotel. Before we get into that, first of all, thanks so much to Jeff Lewis Live for having us on today earlier this morning. If you missed it, go check that out on SiriusXM or their podcast. We always love going on there, and we haven't had a chance to get on since we started our tour, so it was wonderful to reconnect over there. So thanks again for having us on. Also, speaking of that tour, you can come see us for our final two shows by getting tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com. We are going to Seattle on June 12th, and we're going to be here in LA for the grand finale on June 19th. So please do join us for those spectacular final shows of our 2025 tour. Also, if you go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens, you get access to things like our bonus episodes. We currently have some really fun bonus episodes up right now about our Texas road trip where Ronnie and I drove from Austin to Dallas about 2 weeks ago, and we had a lot of fun doing that. So check that out. And for the first time ever, we did one of those road trips with a video as well. There's a video component. And if you want to watch a video of that or of any of our shows that we record, you can sign up on the Crappens On Demand level and not just listen to us, but you can also watch us too. So that's at patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. And that's all for that. Now let's dive in to some Love Hotel. Ronnie, what say you?
Love Hotel. Still loving it. Ralph is having the luckiest time of his life. I'm glad Ralph is as confused as I am. I mean, I think Ralph is cute and everything, but they love Ralph. Every lady loves Ralph.
They love him. They love him. I don't know why. I mean, I guess he is handsome, but they really are. They're all about that Ralph. And I guess that maybe he has a confidence and a swagger, and that really goes far. Because if you ask me, on paper, I think that like Wale is the hottest guy. You could even make an argument for the guy that Ashley dumps at the top of the episode who talks like 3 times. He's also really hot. But in terms of like confidence, you know, Ralph has more of it than Wale. Wale is sort of passive aggressive and...
But is it confidence or is it just exhaustion? Like, I'm getting exhaustion from Ralph. I'm getting like, great. And I think people are taking exhaustion for confidence, which I wish would work for me.
Yeah, it could be that. Also, you know, he ignored Ashley really for the first part of the show, so that could work. She loves a daddy, so there's that too.
Yeah, she does love a daddy.
I don't get it though. I don't
yeah,
get
but
why
let's
Ralph
see.
is.
Let's jump in.
Yeah.
So he's as confused as everyone. He's like, so they're all after me. He's like, here I am, dazed, confused. I don't know which end is up. What the hell's going on? I'm exhausted. And Wale is like, what the hell? How am I competing with some 60-year-old tired person?
Yeah. But Wale, also, you're on a dating show, and like he acts surprised that the girl that he's interested in is like talking to other people. Like it's just the way the format works, and you knew that going into it. So they're sitting at the table, and Luanne's like, "Good morning, guys. Cabaret star coming through. Wait, where are the women? Did you eat them all alive already for breakfast? Ha ha! That's going in the show."
So she's like, all right, listen, we're not here to argue and fight, right? We're here to find love. So I can't wait to hear what Earl has to say for himself. Earl messed with Shannon. It's like these ladies don't realize no matter who Shannon is with, this is the kind of relationship she's going to have because it's Shannon. Okay. Shannon could be checking out at a Home Goods. And they'd be like, oh, hey, did this have a price tag? Did you, a price? What do you mean is there a price tag? How dare you ask me if is it my job to have a price tag or is it your, did I forget a price tag? Are you calling me stupid?
Well, can you tell me exactly what you said? Did you talk about price tags so I can understand better so I can help? And Earl is like, well, there are moments where she'll look at me and say, do you see a price tag? And I'll say, I don't see a price tag. And she'll say, why don't you look again? Because I have a price tag on here. And I go, and I'm like, I don't see it. And she goes, you don't remember what I told you about the price tag? It's very complicated.
It's pretty funny because Earl's trying to explain how Shannon is to somebody who already knows how Shannon is, but she's a good girlfriend, so she's pretending none of that's happening. So he's like, there's moments where she'll look up at me and just go, you don't remember what I told you? She's like, Well, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Shannon acting crazy with a man? Never seen it, never heard it. Completely normal blonde lady. And we do see a flashback to something I didn't really think that was that big of a deal. They're walking on the beach, and he says, so what's your favorite location you stayed in? She goes, oh, I told you already. Do you not remember me telling you? I mean, that is partly her just checking your cognizance. I mean, this is a golden bachelor. You know, you got to see how much battery is left.
Do you need to run to the store to get some AAAs, you know? So Earl's like, and then yesterday with the vegetable thing, it's so silly. It's just so silly. You know what's the silliest of all? Women with their issues. They're just so fun, stupid little trifles. Anyway, I said I don't like vegetables, and she goes, "You don't like vegetables, you know?" And then she whipped her head turned around like this, like a monster, like a 3-headed monster, a hydra looking at me, a hydra that just wanted to eat vegetables, and it was horrifying, and it triggered me. And Wale's like, well, it wasn't about your voice. It was about your body posture. Did you try to guilt her, say something passive-aggressive to her, come on really strong, and then make her feel really bad about her choices for the rest of the evening? Because it kind of works well for me.
It's your body language. Let me teach you. What does this say?
I don't know. You're trying to hail a cab?
I'm a star. That's what it's saying.
A star hailing a cab. Partially correct.
So you could have happy for that one, Earl. All right. Listen.
You don't take an Uber?
And he goes, well, I mean, if you look at the whole gamut of our relationship, we've been together for 37 years. This is just a blip.
All right, it's a blip, but it's a large blip. It's a large blip, darling.
Yeah, I mean, like, it may be a blip, but you've only known her for 4 days. So proportionally, a blip is taking up a large percentage of your time knowing her. So that's not a good thing. So Ashley's walking outside with Jason. Jason's his name. And she's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Last night was like a little shocking for me. And he's like, well, I'll be honest. I felt like I was just being open and transparent with you about who I am and my past and where I've come from. Yeah, and I respect you honestly, immensely. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, of course. No, it was my pleasure.
So we didn't see that. We didn't see what they're talking about. So we get a flashback now. And he's like, oh, you know what's funny? I was in a throuple. He's like, you know what's funny? I was in a throuple. And she's like, oh, my God. Wait, your girl had a girlfriend? He goes, yeah, actually, that's how I met him. They came to me. And she's like, oh, wait a minute. How long were you in that relationship? I'm Ashley Darby. Other people having throuples? Oh, no. Oh, please.
I was in it for 8 months, actually, I think. But since it's a throuple, it's really just like 4.5 months because you add extra time to it, right? Or do you divide it at the time?
First of all, just getting back to what you said about how we didn't see that, I have to say, I want to give a shout out to the editing on this show. I think it's actually really amazing because they kind of are cutting out a lot of the stuff we don't need to see. We sometimes on these dating shows, they give us endless scenes of courting or whatever. And there's like part of me that like really wants to see some of these conversations, but I'm also really appreciative that they just kind of breeze through a lot of it. Like later in the episode, especially, we sort of just see a whole day pass and we see brief snippets of conversation and then some kissing and we can kind of like fill in the gaps. And I kind of think it's pretty great. So shout out post-production team on The Love Hotel.
Shout out post-prod.
Shout out Final Cut Pro. Shout out Appamotion. Shout out USC Film School for teaching skills.
Shout out Microsoft Paint.
Shout out Not Gail because my voice slowly turned into Padma.
So Ashley's like, oh no, a throuple. Well, I think it takes a certain kind of personality to be in a relationship that way. And by that, I mean, whore, you're a whore. And he's like, well, I made it clear that that's not the direction I'm going in. So, trouble over. And she's like, but I mean, I'm not judging you. It's just that in my previous relationship, we were in a sort of similar situation, occasionally allowing other partners into our relationship. And, it's really difficult when you're trying to fight with two people about kangaroo meat possibly not being profitable in a business. So
he's like,
yeah, but one thing I would like you to consider is the fact that you're in a throuple with an old skeevy man and I'm a young hot man. And it's like a young hot throuple is a very different experience. So I think you should be open to it.
It's not two women trying to make a man's penis work. It's two women getting to play with a working penis.
That's how he needs to sell it, you know?
That's what he has to be like, look, it's you like saying you're never gonna drive a sedan again because you drove a Yugo, you know, like give it a try. Try out, try out a Subaru.
I mean, in the situation you were in, there were two women being grossed out by Michael. And in this situation, there's two women not being grossed out. So, give it a chance. It's a different road.
Yeah. This is a much hotter throuple upside, you know? So
God knows who they even got to fuck Michael. I mean, my God. Like, who was that in the throuple? You know? Those were some hideous throuples. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was there was a lot of sadness in that. There was a lot of generational trauma that like culminated in that throuple. Whereas with this guy, it's just hot people banging. So I don't know. Be open to it, Ashley.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. Did he say it was two women, or did he say like maybe it was?
He said it was. I think he said it was two women. He said that they approached him, right?
Yeah, but did he say women?
You know, he may not have said that exactly. If it was a husband and wife, that's wow. That's very interesting. Hot, hot, I would say.
Well, some people do that. Yeah, that's some swinging, but it's a different allowance in a relationship, right? For Ashley. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure. So she's like, that triggers me. Listen, you having thruples triggered me too, because it meant somebody else was subjected to Michael. So we're all triggered.
I know.
Okay. You don't get off on this.
You know what's triggering? Michael Darby. Okay. And she's like,
I feel like a hypocrite, but like, what else can I say? I feel like, I could be something that Jason could do again, and I just don't really want to risk that as a part of it anymore.
I was like, oh, please. So Ashley's like,
yeah, it's a real sensitive thing. It's a trigger.
He's like, well, you and these church taps, I mean, you're going to tap me to the wayside. And she's like,
I don't really get that, but it's not church.
Yeah, because she just gives him like a little kind of hug shoulder tap instead of a real hug. Right. She just taps him.
That's what it is.
So then we go to Shannon's, and she's very much still in her, I like boats, I'm dressed like a sailor phase. Yes. And so
some
someone
John
comes
Jansen
over.
Residue.
Say it again.
Some John Jansen residue.
Yeah. Well, she had that before John, right? Where she's like, oh, look, I live in a house that's a farmhouse sailboat. That is the...
You're right.
Shiplap. I'm bringing the ship back to Shiplap.
That's the decor. Am I turning a boat or turning on the kitchen sink? Who knows?
I want a house that has shiplap, but also feels like a ship that I can run laps in.
So Earl comes and he's like, hey, how are you? Can I give you a hug? And she's like, well, I
mean, this is a very carb-heavy, meat-heavy hug. It would have been a lighter hug with a little romaine in your system. Sure.
He's like, well, thanks for seeing me. I know you had a horrible day, and yesterday I made it worse, and I am so sorry. She's well, I just don't understand why you got so angry at me. That's all. I mean, all I did was bulge my eyes at you and scream, you don't eat vegetables? Oh my God, what sort of monster are you? And I don't understand why that elicited such a negative response from you.
I love that Shannon never understands what she's doing. She's like,
why were you so mad? What could I have done?
And he's like, honey, I'm used to handling conflict with someone I care about privately, and I just got hypersensitive and embarrassed because, 1 minute you're smiling at me, and the next minute you're blinking your eyes and repeating small words over and over again, and it kind of confused me. You're like you're a verbal strobe light. Does that make any sense? I don't understand.
What?
So she's like, he's like, you said you don't remember where I told you I went on vacation?
Well, Earl, I was teasing you. I thought you could tell that by the way I didn't laugh or smile while I did it.
Oh, man, let me tell you. You know what's a trigger for me? I learned that from the kid on the beach. Triggered. But I'm triggered. Let me tell you. Funniness. Okay, humor. Teasing. Okay? Now, you don't know this about me, but I had a really bad childhood, so I don't like loud voices. I just... and vegetables. One time, a Brussels sprout yelled at me, so I can't be around vegetables or loudness.
Well, I mean, but when other people at the table are talking about it, Earl,
and we see a flashback to their fight, and Phil and Giselle are noticing, and Phil's like, well, we might have to go do some refereeing over there to my left. And Giselle's like, yes, sir.
I don't want to make a scene of it or anything.
Oh, I'm gonna make a scene. Nah. So Shannon's like, well, it bummed me out, and I didn't want to get everybody involved, which is why I very quietly said, this man over here doesn't eat vegetables. Why is he on this television show? Could someone get that concierge?
I didn't want to get anyone involved except the manager, which is why I called that very wonderful man who never delivered my artichoke dip over, and I said, please have this man removed. He's abusive.
Shannon, your flashback is just a little too loud for me, and I'm having some hard time with some trauma. Okay, quiet voices only, please.
Well, yeah, that really bummed me out, and I don't like how emotional I got. It really bummed me out getting so emotional. So, I hope you can understand. I really beat myself up.
Earl, if you'd like to say something like you did not get emotional, that'd be nice. No, you don't want to say that? Okay, that's fine. Well, I just feel like...
I already said triggered. I don't know what else I could say. I mean, triggered. I was triggered.
You're a lady strobe light, and that's very difficult for me.
Oh, you want to hear strobe light? Let's hear a flashback to me in 10 years ago.
Okay, David, do you understand that people, because those people are, that guy is, this husband is, they're being horrible to me.
All right, they are. Let's calm down.
All right, so now everyone's gathering in the main lounge, and Joel's here. He's like, all right, buenos dias, everybody.
Listen, I got 5 more minutes before I get onto a FaceTime with Bo and Yang, and we talk shit about you two. So come on, let's get this going.
So look at Ashley, straight out of an aerobics music video from the 80s. I was like, no, that's not, she's in beige. She's in like a tasteful beige, sir. You don't know 80s aerobics until you've seen Rhonda Karam leading a group at a Civic Center aerobics concert in fuchsia.
Okay, folks. So I guess how was your romantic date under the stars?
Oh, well, I don't know really why the line chef at the hotel restaurant is asking me these questions, but I guess, it's nice to have someone ask. So I'll just say it wasn't the best. It was emotional for me.
Yeah. Oh, yes, there's a little elephant in the room called Earl the Pearl. They had a moment last night that didn't sit well with me. Earl, I need to let you know that last night I was very much like Earl needs to go. It's not my place because I didn't give you a key, but I don't ever want to be on a rooftop looking across the way and seeing my girlfriend crying. Well, good luck with that. You're standing next to Shannon Bedore. She'll be crying a lot. That's a fair point.
Listen, Earl, the only people I want to make my girlfriends cry is me. That's my job. When I see a woman sitting across from me sobbing and begging for pity, it's because I caused her pain. Do you understand? He's like, sorry, I was triggered. Someone tried to make me laugh. I'll tell you. I still go to therapy over King of Queens. It really killed me.
Leia Remini. More like I need a Leia remedy. So he's...
So wait a minute, were you just teasing Leah Remini?
All right, got me there.
You know what? I have a hard time talking about Leah Remini because she looks a lot like that slut on the beach with David Bedore.
So Giselle's like, look, I pray that everyone gets the memo that that's unacceptable, the way you talk to Shannon. And Luanne goes, and that's where we draw the line. Although then like 5 seconds later, she's like, and that's why Earl needs to stay. I was like, wait, Luanne? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was just saying things that sounded good.
No one better make Shannon cry. I'm stealing Shannon's man in the next segment.
Joel's like, Earl, where are you at? Well, it was a really big growth moment for me.
You know what else grows? Vegetables.
Okay, well, when it happened, I wanted to run. Well, and for all of us ladies, there have been moments where we wanted to run too. And guess what? We stayed. We followed through. And we kicked you guys out. We made you guys run instead. And you know what? It shows how much courage it is for you to stay. So we draw the line at you making Shannon cry, but wow, how courageous for you to make Shannon cry. Good job, Earl.
Hey, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Hey, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? That's right. Nina Simone, not a runner. Not a runner.
Run away, run away, run away and save your life. life. Run away, run away, run away, save your life. That's right. Generic dance song from the 90s. You're welcome.
Run to your mamas and run to your daddies. Run to your sisters and run. Line. I'm sorry, Florence and the Machine always gets me. All right, carry on with the show.
Joel's like, well, I think it speaks volumes that you were able to have this conflict. But now that you're sitting here next to each other on the couch, that's amazing that you were able to sit where we told you to sit. Now, on to the business of the day. When we're dating, sometimes you can meet a guy that doesn't seem like he's for you at all, but ends up being the perfect can we just get to what they have to do for the day? I don't have all time here. Okay?
Hold on. I have a Bravo joke. Guys, at the end of the day,
You got nothing for nothing.
like a She by Sheree show, it just never happens. Really, a She by Sheree joke? How dare you? And She by Sheree has happened.
That was a funny. That was a. The line cook made a very funny joke. Earl, could you please explain that joke to me? I didn't get what is She by Sheree?
So today you'll be taking an excursion away from this beautiful place. Luanne, who are you want to take on your date? She's like,
Well, James made me laugh. I like him. James, do you want to go on a date with me, big boy?
Would I would love to go on a date with you, girl. All right, come on, let's do it.
Come on. Yeah, we're going on a date. I
Yeah.
love my life.
I love my life too. Yeah.
This
So then
guy
Ash-
is a total dork. Who looks at who talks to James for 5 minutes and is like, that I'm fucking that guy on camera. That's who I'm gonna fuck.
Luanne and James, they're like a weird couple. I feel like you'd meet in Key West or something, right? Yeah, you want to come back to our place and sing some songs? He'll get on guitar, I'll get on the mic, and you can play the bongos if you know what I mean. And by bongos, I mean my boobs.
Play me, James. Play me, Daddy.
So Ashley chooses Wale because she's already had time with Jason, and Jason's a whore, so she's choosing Wale. And she's like, yeah, I'm into Jason, but great guy, just not really for me, you know. And Ralph and Giselle are vibing, so I guess I'm going to take Wale again. I like that poor Wale and Earl are just the backup choice.
I know. And so she's just gonna like see if she can get back to that good place with the super hot guy that she's just like brushing off to the side. So Giselle's like, well, I was told that the date required tennis shoes, and I didn't know if Mr. Phil had any because he's so well dressed all the time. So Phil, will you go on a date with me?
I would be ecstatic to go on a date with you. I'd love to go on a date with you. You didn't answer about these sneakers. I'd love to go on an ecstatic date with you. Is it in Bel Air? I love Bel Air. We could walk there or go out onto my deck.
I don't actually have sneakers, but what I do have are 2 custom Rolls Royces that are the size of my feet that I put my feet into.
She's like, I had such a good conversation with Phil last night. I felt him relax when I asked him about his money and his crypto investments. Giselle needs nothing but money. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
We see a clip to her going, so I know this is what you would normally do, a 10-course dinner. And he's like, oh, never kicked a Michelin star dinner out of bed. I love a Michelin star now and then, especially one in Bel Air.
Say less. So she wants to know more about him. And AKA, she's like, wow, I could really bag a really rich guy. She's basically seeing if he seems like a crook or not. Like, is this money real or are you a con man? So Joel's like, all right, last but certainly not least, but probably most boring. Hey, Shannon, would you like to take out, who do you want to take on this date?
She's like, well, I have not gone on one date with anyone other than Earl. Thanks a lot, Earl. So, Adam, would you like to go on an excursion today? We could talk about USC and things like that.
He's like, I would love to.
Great. You know, Adam is very worldly. You know, he lives close to me, but he's not in Orange County, and I think that makes him very worldly. He actually has to take the 110 freeway places.
You know, I've only been on dates with Earl, so I choose Roughage. Give me the boring guy who lives kind of far away. So Joel leaves, and Shannon turns to Earl. She's like, "Are you okay, Earl? Are you okay?" He's like, "I mean, yeah, I'm fine. You go have a good time." "Okay, well, you have a good time too, possibly with my good friend Asparagus, who I'm sending to your room later."
I'm sure you'll have a great time just chewing your way through all the barbacoa here on the beach. So Earl's like, well, I want her to be happy, and she deserves to be happy, but I wish it was me that was going on the date with her. Ah, smell you later, Earl.
So now they go to Wild Canyon Park in Los Cabos. So Joel's like, if you're going to go on a date with a housewife, you're going to have to strap in and deal with a lot of rough terrain, which is why I've scheduled a series of adventure dates at Wild Canyon. Are we wrapped here? We done? No?
Are we done here? So yeah, they go to this canyon place, and Luanne's gonna zip line, I think. She's like, "Oh yeah, look at that, a zip line. I zip lined through the jungle in Tulum. It was amazing. I'm a world traveler, a world traveling countess. You know who else has done that, Princess Kate? That's my girl. That's my girl."
Now, technically, I didn't actually zip line, and technically it wasn't Tulum. Turns out I flipped my car in Gstaad and had a crazy hallucination, and my life flashed before my eyes, and I also saw my speculative life, which was ziplining in Tulum, but it didn't actually happen. Anyway, the point of the story is they saved me, and I went back to America. Okay, let's get on the zip line.
You don't like zip lining in Tulum stories, huh? All right, well, I unzip lined Josh Groban at a Lakers game once. That count?
Oh, yeah, he lifted me up all right.
So now Giselle and Phil are going to do like a four-wheeler thing over a bridge. And Giselle's like, "Do you like four-wheelers?" And he's like, "Nice. Love four-wheelers. I'll do it. I'm into it. Let's do it. I'm excited by the idea of it."
We'll have a splendid drive over this canyon. Ah.
So then Ashley and Wale, they're going to a big swing. And she's like, "Oh, I don't want to bungee jump. I don't want to bungee jump." And they're basically telling her, like, "Don't worry, it's not a bungee jump. It's just a swing," which is hilarious because it's a bungee jump, essentially.
It's a bungee jump on a swing, but I think it's hilarious that the scene after Ashley's like, "I don't want to be a swinger." They're like, "We're gonna make Ashley be a swinger right
So
now."
Shannon,
Do you know how many slings I've been in this marriage? I'm triggered.
Shannon and Adam arrive at their excursion, which is a camel ride. And Shannon's like,
a camel. Well, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like things that have extra humps like David did in our marriage.
Although it will be nice to bond with it, you know, it's the only animal that retains as much water as I do.
It's just what age does to you.
So Luanne's like, "Well, I'll tell you how to ride a camel. Hold on for dear life. Kind of like you're tumbling over the side of a cliff in Gstaad." So then we see, of course, the classic video of Luanne thrashing about on the back of a camel. Still funny all these years later.
They're good. And the guide's like, "Okay, Shannon, this is your camel. His name is Alf." And she's like, "Oh, well, how tall is Alf?" And he goes, 2 meters. And she goes, "Yeah, I don't know what that is."
I feel a little bit triggered because I feel like you're trying to taunt me right now. And didn't I told you I only speak in imperial, not metric. I told you that.
So Giselle in the ATV with Phil, he's like, "I live in this type of environment. I have a place in Paradise Valley and Bel Air. It's just like this. Four-wheeling through the hills. Oh, look, it's Vanna White. You still look great, Vanna."
I have the only ATV bridge in Bel Air that goes directly from a mansion to a Gelson's. Take it every day.
He's literally hilarious.
Also,
They're
how many
driving an
times-
ATV over a bridge and it's like, "It's just like where I live, Bel Air."
I'm like, it's nothing like that. Also, why do you keep mentioning that you have a place in Paradise Valley and Bel Air? We get it. It's been like 4 episodes now.
By the way, I have a place in Paradise Valley and Bel Air.
But it's working for him, I have to say.
So they drive across it, and Giselle's like, "I'm enjoying spending time with Phil. I want to see if Phil is just one note or if he has different dimensions to him. How rich is he? How many bank notes does he have? Just one or multiple?"
Phil has many, many notes. So then we go to Ashley and Wale in a cable car. and they do the swinging thing. And then down at the Camels, Adam offers Shannon the opportunity to go in front. But she's like, maybe I better go in the back.
So they are trotting along, and meanwhile, Luanne and James are doing their zip line. These two are so weird together, but like it works in a strange way because she's like, James, I'm trusting you with my life. I'm here, girl. Don't you worry.
I love my life.
I love my life.
So Adam and Shannon are making small talk, and she's been coming to Cabo forever, guys. And he's like, yeah, I came down here when I was in film school. Actually, Adam's not very charismatic, I'm just going to say. I don't know if it's the Botox or what it is about Adam, but he's not very interesting. But Shannon's pretending he is to get back at Earl. So she's like, oh, really? Oh, wow, film school. Oh. So do you press record on the camera? How does that work? Good for you. And he's like, and yeah, I also have a tech startup, and we're about to launch a big telehealth platform in Cameroon. Whoa, great cookies. I love coconut.
Cameroon, I love that you went to film school and you have something in Cameroon because I remember when I went and saw Sense and Sensibility, I did eat those cookies there, and it was a great combination of experiences. So that's amazing. Wow, nothing is more fun on the back of a camel than hearing about a telehealth platform in Cameroon. Well, I am enthralled.
I'm predicting tax problems with Adam. He's running from something. A telehealth platform in Cameroon? What's going on with you, sir? That sounds fishy.
It's not necessarily fishy, but it's I went to film school and now I'm launching a telehealth platform in Cameroon. That's where that's a weird disconnect for me there.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I don't trust Kirk Cameroon. Like bred all his fans, and then look what happened to him. Went nuts. Went over the top.
Right. But the first lady of Cameroon, if she still is the first lady, she is great. I love her. She's a big diva.
Really? How do you know?
Yeah, let me look her up.
You're a big First Lady of Cameroon fan? I love that for you.
Look, I'm telling you, please look her up. She is amazing. Her name is Chantal Bia. Just look up Cameroon First Lady. She should be a real housewife. Like this lady, I mean, the hair is we need hair like this on Bravo at all times.
Yes. I love it. How do you know who she is? I'm a stan.
Her look is, I don't know where it came onto my radar, but her look is so legendary that like it got onto my radar somehow. I mean, all her looks are just fantastic. She's fabulous.
Yeah, insanely big hair and insanely big bows as well. I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
First Lady of Cameroon.
Amazing looks at all times. I think maybe it was an Olympics or something, or some diplomatic thing. She came to LA, and I was like, oh my God, I stan her. Icon mother.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's good looking. I can see why someone would want to open a telehealth portal there.
Seeing her really inspires telehealth portals.
People in Cameroon don't want to go out on the streets in case the First Lady's out there. So they're just like, you know what, I'll stick with telehealth today. The First Lady might be out there looking for a beau or something.
So Ashley and Wale, they jump, and he wants to scream, but he also needs to keep his cool because he's on a date with Ashley and he knows he's losing her to Ralph. So you can see him like doing this like repressed scream, which I thought was funny. And then they're just like hanging there, and then they start to make out, which is, I guess they almost died, so why not make out?
Yeah. So then back at the hotel, the guys who weren't asked out are sitting around, and Earl's like, wow, this is the first time I hadn't been on a date, so it feels kind of weird all day after they left. I didn't get picked, so just been eating this beef jerky salad. Hey, you eating lettuce, Earl? No, it's just beef jerky in a bowl.
I just call it I call it beef lettuce. Just lettuce that's been smashed out of the shape of romaine. So Jay is like, well, I haven't been on a date either. And Ray's like, yeah. And Ralph is like, yeah, you're complaining. Oh, I missed one, whatever. Ralph's like, I haven't been on a date either. And Jay's like, yeah, Ralph, does it not you that you haven't been on a date yet? He's like, no, not at all. I'm totally chill. I'm a chill guy. Totally chill.
Yeah. So then, let's see. Everybody's trying to pretend they're okay, but they have to sit there with each other all day, and so that's not very fun. So then, Adam and Adnan. No, that's not a good couple's name because that's the guy from Serial. Shannon. Yeah, that's a cute
Chatham.
couple name.
Chatham.
So Shannon, hi, you've reached Shannon. How can I help your health today over the telephone?
Hi, you've reached the Shannon Bedore telehealth platform. This is where you get to tell me about your health. Telehealth.
So Shannon's
Okay, you've got a runny nose, a fever, and a cough. Have you tried having your husband stick his finger up your butt to see if there is psychological debris lodged up there? Okay, that's what I
Question.
suggest.
If you have done that, do you eat vegetables? Do you know what vegetables are? Okay, well, there's the problem. You don't eat vegetables.
Call Earl, call this number, ask for Earl, tell him to eat vegetables, and hang up. You'll feel better in the morning.
Oh, well, ooh, look at the heavy pour that you're pouring me, Adam. Oh, that camel ride. Oh, so last night when we sat down at the table, so I noticed 3 people put their napkins on their lap, and it was you, Luanne, and I. No one else did. No one else knew what to do with the napkin. I mean, Ralph put it on his head, which I thought was strange. He said he was protecting himself from falling vegetables. I didn't understand it. I thought he was joking at first.
Well, if I were to write down the similarities that I have with Adam and the similarities that I have with Earl, I would say neither one of them really looks me in the eye the amount that I would like. They're both always sort of looking for exit signs. But Adam does live closer, so I choose vegetable eating distance.
I did think it was weird when Phil put the napkin into his neck like a cravat and said, I have a place in Bel Air and Paradise Valley. I thought that has nothing to do with the napkin, but whatever. I guess it works for him.
And Adam's like, God, it's so good to hang out with you, Shannon. I mean, there's no drama. We're just so chill.
Well, baby steps.
Just easy. Here lies Shannon Bedore, killed by a man who put a napkin in his lap last night, but then didn't put one on to have cocktails right now, I'd like to add.
We haven't had that conversation, have we? Did I skip it? That shit was funny.
I think it was all wrapped up in here. I
That
think
was so funny when she's like,
Well, you know, Adam, I noticed that 3 people had their napkins on their lap at dinner last night, and it was me, you, and Luanne. No one else! Not that you're wearing one right now. Okay, I'll forget that.
Consistency. Consistency is what I'm looking for. So are you a napkin on the lap person or not? I need to know these things.
no. So then we go to James and Luanne. He's like,
What are you looking for, babe? You looking for music in your life? You looking for 24-hour happiness? You came to the right taco stand. Happy Taco, sold here.
Well, I'll tell you what I want. Someone who's kind, someone who gets along with Tommy Tune, and top of my list, somebody who has a big pee-pee.
He's like, what? Wait, does it feel like I'm kind? Do you feel like I'm not kind?
No, well, you meant, let's fast forward over the kind thing and get right to the pee-pee, okay? You understand what I meant by pee-pee?
Well, I've been a big supporter of Planned Parenthood, if that's what we're going for, honey.
How about planned fuckerhood? How about that? Because I'm planning to do that soon.
you know what I mean when I say pee-pee? Private plane. No, I'm joking. You don't need one of those. I can ride your big dick anywhere I need to go.
Especially if it's as big as a private plane. Well, here's an honest story, and this is true. My father and I were in Italy, and my father comes out of the restaurant, and he's like, you're not going to believe what the guy next to me said in the stall. He said, hey, you got the arm of the baby. Wow. Your father ripped an arm off of a baby? That's horrifying, but kind of hot.
I did it once when a baby cried while I was trying to sing a song from Salome, the musical. So I get it.
No, I meant his dick. He's got a huge dick. Me and my dad both got huge dicks. We've sword fighted before.
Wow. All right, well, did he by any chance write his name on the bathroom wall and that bathroom in Italy? And where's that bathroom? Send me to it.
Did your father ever tell a story about sitting next to a very attractive lady on a flight to Italy and how he gave her crabs from his hairy arms? No? Okay, just trying to track that guy down. Remember that story?
That's a real cold case.
But kind of hot at the same time, if you know what I'm saying.
I do not remember that story.
There was that one that one off they did of like, it was like behind the music, but for like before they were housewives. And Luanne was like, well, I flew on a flight to Italy and the man next to me had very hairy arms and I got crabs. She said she got crabs from a man with hairy arms next to her. If I remember correctly, I could be bastardizing it. I just always remember that story, how she sat next to a hairy armed guy and got crabs from him. So I need to go back and watch that. Why did they do more episodes?
It happens. So James has got a huge one, just like his dad, which everyone wants to hear. You know, yeah, me and my dad sporting. And she's like, me and the ladies love when a man has a big PPA.
Well, maybe it's something you should explore and find out for yourself. I was like, wow, he's like, normally most people would be like, ooh, that's kind of skeevy. And then she's like, yes, sir. I was like, these two, I don't get it. Like everything he says, I think is so gross. She's like, absolutely, come to mama.
She's like, I'm in.
So he's like, you know, it probably sounds biased, but I need to be with someone who has children and loves their children. That's very important to me. I mean, look how much my dad loves me. We actually had marks on the front door or on the pantry door where we'd measure how much our penises would grow against each other.
Well, I don't have that experience, but I would love to see that door. That being said, I do have 2 children. We used to do Taco Tuesday. And I got my younger son, Noel, a breakdancing instructor, which showed that I did love him. And my daughter, Victoria, she does things. So we're happy about that.
Well, you know, I've got 2 children, and I showed my love by trying to sell the house their father was giving them. And they sued me. So that was fun. We're very close. We're very close. We all pay lawyers together. So that's been fun.
Well, and then we did have a round house that we enjoyed at one point where we would just accuse each other of things, go round and round and round in the roundhouse.
So now we go to Giselle and Phil. And he's like, I had so much fun. What a blast. What a blast.
Yes, as I told you, my kids are gone, so I'm an empty nester now, and so you have a son and my eldest daughter. They're the same age, right? Question: did it take you 4 years to say goodbye to your son as they went to college?
Well, you know, it still feels like an empty nester even though I live with my son because he's never home in Bel Air. He'll be on a date somewhere that's not Bel Air, and I'll text him and I'll say, Bel Air calling, Bel Air calling. He doesn't call me back. It's pretty lonely.
When you're the president of Bel Air, it's hard to keep track of your son because your estate takes over the entire hillside. So yes, we're in the same house, but are we even in the same house? I ask you that. Bel Air!
One of the reasons I've been single for so long is because I've been raising my son. He's 29 now, still raising him.
So she's like, oh, so your priorities are him. We have that in common.
Only in Bel Air, not in Paradise Valley, though. I don't care about him there.
So then Ashley and Wale are hanging out, and he's like, Ashley loved the date, you know, and they needed time together. And Wale's like, yeah, we got 6 hours. And she goes,
Well, yeah, I mean, we needed more time to figure out things, you know. It's just, there's so many men that come on that seem better than you, but then they're not. So I come back to you, and, well, you know, I'm still looking at that door waiting for a better one. So this has been great.
And he's like, yeah, I mean, look, I never had an issue with you dating other people, if that's what the experience is, you know? All I'm just saying is, you know, although you're dating other people, don't forget about me. And she goes, well, I feel like I didn't forget about you. And he goes, well, I feel like you did. I was like, you know, you were doing well there, Wale, but when he said, I feel like you did, he just needs to say, cool, that's great. I was just being chill. I was like, hey, I'm still here. I still want to get to know you. That's all he has to say. But he's
yeah,
like,
quiet down,
you did forget
Wale.
about me.
Quiet down
You did
over
forget
there.
about me.
Yeah, you
don't tell her
forgot
what
about
she.
me.
Don't tell her what she feels and what she knows.
Yeah,
She's like,
Well, I haven't kissed anyone else here, right? Like, no one's gotten close to me physically or emotionally.
and so he kisses her again, and he's holding something behind his back, and he's got her a present. She's gonna have a whole collection at this point. And he hands her a letter. She reads it.
I recognize you keep choosing me, and I just want you to know I'm choosing you too, even when you choose other people over me, which is probably right now because I have time to write this letter. You stupid, stupid hooker. Love, Wale. Oh,
That was so sweet of you. since Wally and I started the process, it's been the two of us, and like we've had eyes locked on, and like things have like sort of shaken our connection a little bit. But like when you have a partner engage you and like make you feel special, that is a huge turn on for me. But you know what's also another huge turn on? Someone who's 65.
So he's
His
like,
eyes aren't watering and unfocusing themselves, and he doesn't really have any age spots yet, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to stare at during dinner.
I
But I'm
want someone who's
trying.
gonna objectify me and talk down to me. So, even though he's super hot and he's got a great smile and, seems to be into me, I'm gonna go for the old guy.
So now the women get together to huddle and talk about the men. And Luanne's like, oh, James gave me a piggy ride to the zip line. It's on his dick. Huge one. Big as a golf cart.
he carried me on his back. And Giselle, I can't believe Giselle. Giselle's like, I am going to step into the world of Roni. She goes, he didn't buckle with the weight. That was such a Ramona. And Luanne goes, I said, darling, I'm tall, but I've got small wrists and ankles and things. And so while I may appear to be tall and heavier than the average country bear, I lose a lot of that mass through my wrists. I've got tiny, tiny wrists. They're basically made of feathers. So, I'm pretty much as heavy as, a fleck of sand at this point. Well, am I spiraling? Perhaps.
Listen, maybe I'm tall, but I've got one thing other women don't. And that's a set of teeth behind my regular set of teeth facing backwards.
And they are actually, they are as light as styrofoam. So no added mass there. So no buckling when you have the countess on your back. Don't worry, everyone. Small wrists, and ankles.
Well, they gave me fanny flutters.
And they're like, oh my God, fanny flutters.
So then Shannon's like, well, did you fill his package? What was that like? She's like, no. Well, you should have brushed along it. Just brushed along it. I brushed along Adams, and he started talking about telehealth in Cameroon. So,
Wow, Shannon, I never would peg you as someone who would brush someone's dick. Oh, definitely not a dick. I meant like, did he receive any mail and were there toxins inside it and perhaps a box of vegetables? Does he have a CSA box? Because Earl doesn't.
does he have a package, and did he scan it with blue light before opening it to make sure that there were no germs?
That's all I'm saying. You never know.
Well,
When you're with him, did you think about Earl in any way? Well, a couple of times I did because I felt bad. I just felt terrible. I mean, there's a comfort to Earl. It's just a big warm blanket as a person. I think, why has nobody folded up that blanket? Why is that blanket thrown over a traffic cone? Nobody's done anything with it. Then the blanket starts crying. There's a crying blanket.
I did. On that date, I did think about Earl, and I thought, wow, if I break my neck and die on this camel, the last person I would have kissed was Earl the Pearl, and that was sad for me.
all right, does
I'm
Adam
glad
have a
about that.
dick like a racehorse or what?
How would I know?
How about his dad?
How dare you?
Luanne, I can't help it. Please stop waving your wrists in front of my face.
I just want to show everyone I've got very small wrists and ankles. Okay, I would never make a man buckle under my weight. Ever.
So we see Giselle and Phil on their date playing around on their four-wheeler. And she says, so you have one of these in your garage? And he's like, well, I have a double R. That's a Rolls Royce, for those of you who don't know what it is. Rolls Royce Bel Air Rolls Royce.
Earl the Pearl's like, well, I've got an HE, a Hyundai Elantra. So get ready, ladies.
Well, I've got an HB heartburn.
I actually did once write to Chevrolet, and I said, dear Chevrolet, have you considered labeling your next vehicle the Chevy Heartburn? I never received anything back, but I think it's because the idea was too good, and they didn't want to give it to me.
So Ashley's like,
How do you think Ralph's going to feel that you didn't ask him out on a date?
and basically Ralph earlier was like, I'm glad I'm not going on a date. I'm trying not to die over here, okay? So maybe he's just in his feels because he didn't get picked.
So Ash is like,
Okay, let's go down and have a nightcap. And Shannon's like, oh, well, I actually do not put on headwear at night because it keeps toxins in that need to be released from the scalp.
How about a sleep guard? Can we go down and have a sleep guard?
I do grind my teeth at night, so shall we just all go down and get ourselves fitted for a new night guard? No?
Night guard, you're correct. I'm sorry. Sleep guard.
Well, I have a sleep guard too, which is it's a mask I put on my face to prevent myself from inhaling any spiders during my sleep.
I actually put a sleep guard on my face so I don't fall asleep, so I could just lay there counting sheep all night long.
It's important to know how many sheep there actually are. We don't want to have too much wool in our air because it can really get your sinuses going.
So they go downstairs, and Ashley pulls Ralph aside. And because, last night was the night that she's like,
I like you too, Ralph.
so he's like, you're a beautiful woman. And I discounted the fact that there would be any connection whatsoever. I mean, you're young, you're gorgeous. I'm old, I'm exhausted.
Like, I know, that's what I'm into. I just found you so alluring since the first day. I saw you pull the underwear out of your butt and then kind of pick a booger out of your nose and turn it into a little ball and blow on it until it became flickable. And there's just something so attractive about a man who's willing to wait for what he wants.
Nothing was more alluring to me than seeing you in that oversized polo that almost eclipsed your shorts, and I thought, this man is a sexy man.
But you're a beautiful woman, and I just can't believe it.
She goes, but I meant what you said last night. I find you really, really old. Attractive.
Yeah, I have to say, you do kind of remind me of those trolls from the movie Frozen, but when I did see the movie Frozen, I got really turned on by those trolls, so that works for me.
So she has a connection with Wale, but is it worth it to shoot her shot with somebody and let that jeopardize what she knows is a good thing going on with Wale? And Ralph's like, shit, if I never knew her and I were a possibility, I kind of need to understand things and see if there's a fit. Jeez, normally I walk into a sunglasses hut and the clerk's there just, ask me to leave, Grandpa, or say not to touch anything or follow me around the store. But it's a young person who likes me.
Yeah, I feel like Ralph is not getting enough of an old fuckboy edit because just the last episode, he sat down Giselle and he was like, I only want to focus on you. I like you the most. You're the one who I care about the most. And the moment that the hot younger girl says like, hey, I kind of think you're cool, he's like, Giselle who?
Well, have you ever met a man before? This is like in the man DNA. It's like, wow, a younger option, a younger model just walked in. I didn't even have to be married to you for 20 years before I dumped you for a younger option. It's literally day 2. Time is sure moving quickly.
Yeah. So basically she's like, I'm into you. So Shannon and Adam sit down and he's like, so how are you feeling? She's like,
Well, last night was a lot for Ralph, and he's super emotional, and I just don't know what to say about it. Just kidding. Eat some kale, lettuce, spinach.
So Ralph is going to pursue this and Ashley's going to pursue this. And she's like,
Giselle's one of my girls, but I want to see where your interest lies.
Dun, dun, dun. So then, let's see. Ashley, is this where they make out?
well, not quite yet. So Ashley's still talking. She's still talking a little bit more to him, and she's like,
We only have a little bit of time.
and he's like, I understand that.
She's like, and I didn't think you were romantically interested in me.
He's like, I mean, come on, honey. Look. I mean, everybody has a pulse will be interested in you, toots. I mean, you got a rack, you got cheekbones, you got skin as tight as a drum. Hello, I'm putting my penis in you as soon as I can, baby.
He doesn't even lie. He's just like, you're gorgeous, you're bubbly, ... I know nothing else about you. But
I know.
I will marry you.
You're hot.
Yeah.
I know that we got a beach over there, but have you ever thought about motorboating on land?
So Shannon is seeing all of this, and she's sitting with Wale, and she's rooting for Wale. So she's like, well, are you choking?
No, I'm just trying to get out a sentence. Just be quiet. So, okay. Well, what is the whole Ashley Ralph thing? What are they doing together?
And he's like, I don't know. I really don't know. And he's now like, I think this is when he's in the confessional. He's like lying on his back. And he's like, I mean, she likes to test you. She likes to see if you can handle some of the antics. This is so strange. He's basically like, I think that he's really like, I'm the hottest one in my neighborhood. And I've come onto the show. And somehow I'm just like an option. I don't get this at all.
Well, you know,
But-
you've dated someone, I'm sure. Okay, look, I won't say
Yes.
you, but I won't speak for other people. But I've dated someone who I'm like, oh my God, this person is so hot. Like, this person is way too hot for me. And then maybe they'll show me a picture of somebody they've dated before me. And I'm like, ooh, that person's gross too. And then there's a part of me that's just like, so are they just like into, like, am I gross? Like, are they just into gross guys and I fit within that, like, bound? You know, it shouldn't be like that, but it is. You're like, oh, wait a minute. If they're attracted to that person and me, does that make me gross like that person? Like, am I grosser than I thought? You know, it can it can send a person into a spiral. So I think Wale is just like, she's into 60 or like, how is this computing for me? Like, if she's into like some 60-year-old kind of rundown, because listen, it's not an ageist thing. Ralph looks like he's a big guy. He just looks exhausted. His eyes are half closed like Garfield the whole time. I can't even believe he's staying awake for shooting. He looks exhausted.
I know. And Wale's like, how am I in the same league? But the problem is that Wale's personality is like, it's not fun. He's not a fun guy. It's like trying to be fun by smiling a lot, but he's like, he is really serious. And
Wale will text you. Like, he'll know when you're on the way home from work and be like, are you on the way home from work? I hope you're on the way home from work. That's where you should be. Are you hanging out after work? Like, he seems like he's maybe too possessive or something. But
exactly. And like the hottest guy, it's always shocking how like an incredibly hot person, guy or girl, can like lose all of their like looks the moment like their bad personality comes out. It's kind of amazing. I always find it to be very liberating.
well, there's a hot people fragility, right? Because I feel like when you're really cute, you're used to getting whatever you want because everybody wants to date you. You know, you have like the pick, and then people are like all over themselves, falling all over themselves. Like, oh my God, he's so cute. So when you meet somebody that's like, meh, it's like, what do you mean? I'm hot. I don't. You can't treat me like this. I have hot privilege.
Yeah, it's great actually. So then Adam so Ralph and Ashley are talking, and then Adam just like comes over and like he's like, hey, he's like, what's up, Ralphie? So Ashley's like, okay, I gotta go, and she really wants to kiss Ralph, but she's not going to, and he kisses her hand, and like it's like really intense. So she walks away, and then when she walks away, she's thinking like, should I go for it? Should I go for it? She has this whole monologue of like, you know,
Ralph is the temptation. I'm like trying to resist that temptation, but I just can't. I don't want to upset or offend Giselle, and I do feel a strong connection with Wale, but the thing is that Ralph is something else. He's someone I could feed, you know, frozen peas to and peach cups, and that's exciting for me.
Michael and I broke up before the chance that I got to mash up bananas and change his bedpan. I could have that with Ralph.
So she goes back over there and she's like,
Adam, could you excuse me a little bit? Could you, I think the plant over there wants to know about telehealth. Okay, great. Okay, hi. You know, we talked about there isn't a lot of time, and we're here at the Love Hotel, and we have to seize the moments. Do you want to seize the moment? Or my boobs? Or something? Seize me!
So they make out, and then Ralph does this. Ugh. Ew. A kiss moaner? No, get the fuck out of here, Ralph. But she likes it. She's like,
Oh my God, he grabbed me. From the first embrace, he started growling in my ear. Oh my God, growling. That's what I've been looking for. He smelled like Fixident. Oh my God. There's something that just triggers in me.
oh, Jesus Christ. I feel so bad for Butthead watching this show because you know she's still dating Butthead in real life.
yeah, they were just seen together shooting for the new season of Potomac, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Butthead.
Yeah,
so then,
sorry.
what's his name?
Sorry,
Josh.
Beavis.
Whatever his name is. So she's like,
This is what I've been looking for.
so now it's the next morning and people are working out and he's still horned up, etc. And Ashley is sitting with Giselle in the confessional. She's like,
So, Giselle, last night, I kissed Ralph.
and she just cracks up. She's like, ha 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 ha.
I kissed a senior and I liked it. And she's like, and I said, you know what? Tomorrow is not promised, especially not for Ralph.
Definitely not. There could have been an earthquake and everybody could have died. And so, yes, tomorrow is definitely not promised. How was the kiss? Did his dentures get stuck on you with the fixident? She's like, it was really good.
Still. You better hope so, because that man's pushing 80.
There's not a lot of ticks left in that clock.
The cuckoo is too tired to come out of the clock anymore, Ashley. We're winding down. So
Giselle is pretty chill about this, mainly because she just found out that Phil has a Rolls Royce. So she's like, whatever, take the sound technician. I've got Phil.
So now Adam and James are in the lounge chatting, and they're talking about how there's going to be friction now between Ralph and Wale. Dun, dun, dun. And Adam's like, yeah, I saw Ashley make out with Ralph last night. I saw it with my own eyes. And I said, guess what? I love my line.
Fully kissing, wow. So now Jay and Phil and Jason are sitting at the edge of the pool. I was like, wait, Jay, Phil, and Jason. Oh, that's right. Oh, poor Jay. He's gonna be gone soon. Jay's like, I've seen a lot of highs and a lot of lows at the Love Hotel over the last couple of days. And Phil's like,
I can attest to that. It's like when you come down from Bel Air, you leave the highs of Bel Air and go to the lows of Brentwood. That disgusting neighborhood full of upper middle class people.
Here's what I choose, the other side of the hill.
So Ashley is trying to. She's like trying to figure out how to navigate, with this whole situation, and doesn't want to break girl code. Listen, she gave Giselle the biggest gift of all, which is that a future scene where Giselle can confront Ralph and say, "So Ralph, you said I was the only one you cared about. Now you're going for Ashley." She's so ready to carve him up. It didn't happen this episode, but I feel like it's coming next episode.
Yeah, Giselle's not chill. I mean, I love that they show Giselle just being so chill. No, she's saving this. She's saving this.
She will destroy him.
Luanne's like,
First, I got shot down by Ralph, of all people. Wow. Got shot down from the piano playing dog from the Muppets.
Where's his baby arm? If you know what I'm talking about. So then, we see how Ralph shot down all these people. Luann's like, Ralph is the new Harry Dubin, taking a turn with all the girls. Am I right? So then we see the Harry Dubin footage and Kristen Dakeman from Girls Trip, like narrating all his conquests, etc.
yeah. And now we're back to present.
Well, he is much better looking than Harry Dubin. Sorry, Harry.
So now Giselle and Ashley are on a couch in the room, and Giselle's like, let's talk about Ralph. You really like Ralph, or was this, I was drinking, the breeze was blowing, your hair was looking good, you were looking sexy. Yeah, what was going on?
I was in my femininity for sure, but I'm really into Ralph. Although now that I hear that Harry Dubin is like Ralph, but less good looking, I'm kind of into Harry Dubin.
I just heard about a more disgusting version of Ralph. Do you have his number? So Giselle doesn't care. She's like, no, shocker. She loves an old man. And then we see side by side with Michael Darby. Michael's just like, where is the ring? Where is the ring?
And they just choose such a bad shot. They could have done better with that, though. They definitely should have gotten the shot of him laughing like a maniac at that party. Like one of the last shots we ever saw of Michael being like with Juan Dixon. So Ash is like,
I wasn't even really checking for Ralph.
Yes, and you had trust Ralph. You said Ralph has little lips, probably can't kiss. Remember this before you stole him away from me, by the way. I'm totally chill about it. Totally chill.
I won't even care about this when I pass you in my RR. That stands for Rolls Royce.
So she's basically like, no, being emotional isn't really my thing. Virgos don't operate that way. We keep things close to the vest. I'm basically a borderline dude. I don't know.
Yeah. So she says, I never even looked at Ralph like I want to stick my tongue down your throat. That's not even fair to Ralph. He deserves that. Ralph deserves a looser woman, Ashley. I'm glad he found you.
A looser woman with low standards. So then there's like a knock on the door. And just
Ralph.
Goes, uh-oh. It's Ralph. This is weird.
Yeah.
Ralph enters in, and so he comes in and he's like, he's like, guys, he sits down between the two of them. He's like, I mean, I'm confused. I mean, you guys have crashed my system. This is wild. I mean, I expressed interest in you, Giselle, you may remember, and I don't think I got a whole lot back. So this is kind of your fault. I'm just going to say that. And then all of a sudden, last night happens, big tits, young big tits comes at me, and I'm like, Giselle, who am I right? Again, your fault. So yeah, I'm crazy right now.
Yeah, and I like when he goes, you know, I gave you a lot of attention. I didn't seem to get any back. And she goes, yes,
Yeah, you
like, do you
Like-
blame me? So she's like,
'Cause she
everyone
saw right
should
through you.
explore things in the Love Hotel. And then he's like sitting there talking to both of them about his feelings, which is so odd to see. I guess that's like an older generation thing. You just get older and you're like okay with sharing your emotions. I kind of like the Giselle style. I mean, I guess I'm a Virgo too, so that's more me. But I'm like, hi, I don't need you to come over and talk about your feelings. Okay, keep those to yourself, sir.
But also, by the way, the reason why she didn't give a lot back is because she doesn't want to she doesn't want to get hurt. She doesn't want to give something back, knowing that the moment a hotter, younger thing comes by, you're going to just completely go over there.
right, it's like a
So-
test thing after what she's already been through with her husband and everybody else. Is kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, let's see how you react against Ashley.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
you
work
want to
for it,
marry me?
Ralph.
Ashley's running a lemonade stand in a bikini. You lose. You know, it's like immediately. So you know, he fell into exactly what she probably suspected. I think you're correct on that one. So Giselle's telling you, oh, we should explore things in the Love Hotel. I would just like to see if Ralph is going to need a stint after 1 hour with Ashley.
Yeah, exactly. So Ralph's like, well, I told Wale, we talked, which is funny because it's also like in Love Island rules would be that Ashley would be the one to tell Wale. So the fact that she didn't tell Wale and that he went up, like that's also kind of shady. And it's also a little bit of a power play on Ralph's end, I have to add. And Wale's like, well, I'm not surprised. Like, well, okay, whatever. He goes, well, I don't know how. Back to present, Ralph is like, I don't know how he's processing. I know he's into you, but however it plays out, it plays out. All I know is he's age appropriate. I'm old and saggy, so I think we know who wins this one, right?
Yep, sure do.
Good morning, everybody. Tomorrow's another elimination. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see how it shakes out. Bye, everybody.
Oh, well, I was hoping that the waiter was going to bring over some green juice, but that's fine. He can just leave.
I've had a lot of conversations with men. One thing I have not tasted yet is artichoke dip. Just putting that out there. This is episode 4.
And by the way, Earl, artichoke dip does not count as a vegetable. So,
But
Slow your
mayonnaise
horses.
does, right?
wait, there's mayonnaise in this?
So
I always thought that was artichoke pulp, ground to a cream.
So Jason
so
and Ash,
yeah, so she talks with Earl. Earl's like, "You want to take a walk?" And she goes,
Well, I was just gonna go. Adam has a telehealth thing in Kalamazoo. I was gonna go talk with him about the Kalamazooians and their health needs. So I'm sorry, yellow fever on line 2. We're joint business now. Sorry, Earl.
Yeah, we have to go on a walk. So unfortunately, I'll be washing my hair afterwards. So bye.
he's like, okay. He's telling us, I don't know how to take that except to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, God. Well, hopefully someday that guy will come and get that motorcycle out of my garage. I'll just focus on that. So then,
So Adam and Shannon go on their walk, and Adam's like, at some point he's gonna get the message, right?
I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean.
And he's like, well, we've all been in situations where someone's more into us than we're into them. Adam, stop being so confident. You're a fucking prop, sir. Okay, you're a prop.
Well, we have been in that situation, or even more. Sometimes some of us have been in a situation where you're more into them than they're into you. That has happened to me once or twice in the past few years, which is very fun. Oh goodness!
so
You
then,
know, I love a man who's confident with himself, and Adam is so secure. I love a man who can walk down a beach and just see a sunset and see a blonde slut on the beach and leave me alone with my fuck this person. Fuck this person.
You know what I like about Adam? He cares about telehealth
in Rooney Mara's house, and he likes to wear a scarf, and that is confident. I am very attracted to this man who is not Earl.
So Ashley and Wale talk, and she's like, "Yeah, I mean, I had a good night. I got a good gym workout, and okay. Well, first of all, I would like to say that the events that transpired last night with Ralph were not premeditated by me." Okay, why are you writing in lawyer? Why are you talking in lawyer
know.
speak?
Are
It's
you
like,
on
did you
Serial?
go to LegalZoom before you had this conversation with Wale?
I know. And he's like, again, girl, you got to, you got to do the hair over. Like, if you're going to make out with him, like, you got to shower first. You got to do the hair over. She's
No, I didn't plan for it. This is like not typically how I conduct myself.
He's like, I mean, sharing a kiss the same night, probably, like, that's probably been better. That probably would have been better served if you did it the next day. I'm like, whoa,
Well, the
whoa, whoa,
jurisprudence of the way that I conducted myself and the premeditation of it did not indicate that I should. I'm sorry, I forgot what I was talking about.
He's like, why'd you make out with that dude the same day? Fuck off, Wale. She can make out with whoever she wants, whenever she wants to.
That's exactly correct. And she's like,
Well, I did not lick your face for 5 hours.
he's like, I mean, we spent 5 hours making out. She's like,
No, we did not spend 5 hours.
he's like, well, we were making out. I don't care. She's allowed to go on and kiss the next person right away. Again, have you never seen Love Island? Sometimes it's 3 or 4 people in one night. That's just the way it works, okay?
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I could
2025.
see if it was after, like if he was after and she hadn't told him. Something like,
The sun
you
was
could have
down.
told me you were making out with some old dude before I made out with you, because now I've basically made out with the old dude. You know? But
Yeah, exactly. But also, it was like the sun was down. It was a different stage of the day. I feel like it totally counts. That's like lunch complaining that you had breakfast, okay? It's like different times. I think it counts. So it's okay. And so now this is where he's lying on the sofa and he's like, decorum. Decorum is the word I need to emphasize in this place. Not my feelings, but decorum. How about
It's like you
you?
can't-
About goodbye, okay? You're gone.
goodbye, I'm sir. And he's like, you can't go on a date with Wale and wear the same clothes and then go kiss Ralph. Like, you didn't even brush your teeth and you're swapping saliva. Decorum, people.
Yeah, but if she did that, you'd be like, I can't believe you brushed my kiss out of your mouth. Like, I want that kiss to stay in there. So, like, he would never have been happy no matter what.
Yeah. And why are you acting so classy when you're trying to date people from the back page of a backstage casting ad? Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. So Shannon and Adam sit by the bar, and this is where he has now put on a scarf, which I'm just like, I was mortified about this decision for him. And he's like, wow, tomorrow I could be going home. There's an elimination.
You could be going home, but luckily you eat vegetables, which is very important to me.
At least your home won't be in the ground soon, like Earl's.
So everyone's just having like a nice little time, you know. Jay's talking to Giselle, and he's like, "Oh, I thought I've talked about you with all the other guys, and the basic thinking is no one's breaking Giselle." And she's like, "That is not true. I'm just a hard nut to crack," which I guess means that is true. No one's breaking me.
Yeah. There was no way Giselle was ever going to give herself over to any sort of romance on the show, ever.
Yeah.
They brought her on so that way she would just make crack jokes in the corner, and that's exactly what she's been doing.
Yeah.
Then we see Luanne and go up to Shannon and Adam, and she goes, "Well, how's it going with you two? Hi, I'm Luanne. What's your name?" He's like, "Adam. We've met before." "Oh, good, Adam. Well, James is all over me like white rice." "Don't you mean white on rice?" "No. He's been throwing white rice at me all day, and I love it."
James is all over me like white rice on Earl.
Cut to Earl on a bed like American Beauty with rice all over him.
I'm trying to eat vegetables over here.
So Wale talks to Jason, and he's like, "Okay, well, let me tell you, as the main person in the Ashley universe, you're not out of it yet." And Jason's like,
You're right. At this point, I'm going to bat. I'm gonna see how far I can hit it, and if it goes over the fence, cool. If it doesn't, I've still got 2 girlfriends.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, Ashley's just looking for someone who can do a bunt. Just a slow runner with who can do a bunt. So Luanne and James are looking at the sky, and Luanne's like, "Well, James, isn't this beautiful? A sky, a cabaret star. Wow, you could put me up there. I could be part of a constellation because cabaret star, stars, skies. See where I'm going there?" He's like, "Yeah. Oh, wow, well, look up there. More stars. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, really? Throw some rice at my face, James. Let's make out.
I got another story about my dad.
Hey, James, I'm going to tell you what Stevie Nicks once told me after a show. Shh.
You know, a wise woman once said something, and I want you to follow her lead. She said, rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat. Let's make it the Capo treat.
Her name was Liza Minnelli. All right. Thanks for coming.
So Giselle and Phil are sitting together, and she's like, so, are you looking to get married, possibly to your son? And he's like, oh, it's something I've never done, but I would do if my partner would get married, as long as we could get married in Bel Air.
So, but otherwise you don't need to, right? So we're on an accord. We're on accord here. I don't go near those cars. No. Didn't mean that, sorry.
My eats Accords for breakfast, baby.
So now Adam, sorry. Adam's talking to Luanne now. Because this is the part, by the way, what I talked about earlier, how we see snippets of conversation. So this is part of it. So Adam's talking to Luanne, and he's like, well, I've been to some of the most spiritual places on earth. I've sat under the Bodhi tree. Oh, the Bodhi tree. I played there. Sang some great songs there. They love me at Bodhi tree. Have you ever been to Marrakesh? He's like, I have. Oh, yeah. Marrakesh is great. They've got some great sand there. I don't know. I've never actually been. I just like to talk about it.
You can hear prayers there, people praying. They sing when they pray. And I say, find your key, all right? Find your key.
He's like, Istanbul, you ever been to Istanbul?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Istanbul, Istanbul. Don't give me no bull, it's Istanbul.
Elaine Boozler and I once sang
Constantine
songs
was
there.
Constantinople, and Istanbul was Tallahassee, and I don't know, line.
Where is Istanbul anyway? Florida? So they hug. And she's like, well, it's always great to meet a fan in these places. Have a great evening, sir. So Ashley and Ralph are walking off together, and she's like, it's hard because I want to be with my kids all the time on the kitchen island. He's like, yeah, I want to be with my kids all the time too, except they're like 25 and 30. So anyway, we're going to make out or what?
I know. I was thinking that too. Like, yeah, I want to be with my kids all the time too. I do not want to be with your kids. You've got two very young kids, so no thanks. So Jason's with Ashley, and he's interrupting. He's interrupting the conversation. He's like, I don't want to be that guy, interrupting stuff. And she's like, well, okay. Well, then don't. Okay, but I'm interrupting. Okay.
Don't worry, Ralph. We can still make out. Jason's used to this kind of vibe.
So then Giselle and Phil are walking in the hallway. Just like, Phil's like, well, you know what happens when I hug you. I don't want to let go. It's how we do it in Bel Air. Hugs for eternity.
It's like, you have to let go of me. Thank you. Stop touching me. Now back a step away. Now another one. Now sit down. You're doing very well, Phil. Now say Bel Air. Bel Air. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.
The producer asked Giselle if they've kissed yet, and she goes, well, the spirit hasn't moved me to kiss Phil yet, but I did notice that he tried to bite into my neck at 1 or 2 points, and I thought that was a little weird. Said something about he needs the juice.
Well, what would the spirit have to do to move you to kiss him? She's like, well, the spirit would have to sing Carol Channing, pop out his dentures, and force my face in there. That's what would have to happen.
She's in it for the RR. She's like, I don't want to kiss this man. I just want to have his money. Let me live the life of luxury at long last.
Yeah. So then Adam and Luanne are walking or Shannon and Luanne are going to their rooms, and Adam joins them. And he's like, can I walk with you too? Because you guys are amazing life lovers, little life lovers. The things I love about you, the things I love about her. Oh, no, this is Adam. Sorry, I was James.
Yeah.
He's like, can I walk between you guys? You're so amazing, Shannon, the things I love about you and the things I love about Luanne here, if I could just put you into one person, you'd be the perfect woman. Okay, Adam, get the fuck out of here.
Why would
Don't
you
wonder
ever
you're
say
single.
that?
Who says that to somebody? Like, God, I wish you were just half somebody else,
You're almost perfect. I just wish you had some more qualities like Luann. And Luann, you're almost really great. I just wish you were more like Shannon. Like, why would you ever say that?
What an idiot.
Luann's like, so you want to have a menage a trois? In other words, that was French. I used to live there and be married to France. Yeah. And Luanne's immediately like, okay, well, I'm going to mosey over there to James. Baby arm. So then James and Earl go to sleep. They're like, well, I guess Earl or Pearl's going to have to go to bed early tonight. Not a lot of people fishing for pearls. That's too bad. And Shannon and Adam, she's like, well, welcome to my room. I have shit everywhere. I apologize. Let me just put a pillow in front of that Tostitos bag. It's a little embarrassing.
Oh, how weird that the hotel has started using Pop-Tarts for pillows.
Well, I don't know how those got there. That concierge must have left them there for me when you brought in those towels that time. That was strange.
The one day you give me service.
So Luanne and James are holding hands as they walk to her room, and she's like, I'm going to show you my room. And
He's like, what are we going to do up there?
well, don't count your chicken before it hatches on rice. Now, that's a very famous saying, but you know, because you're old enough to know that one, eh, saggy balls?
Sure am. Oh, yeah, that's hot. Throw more rice at me. So then Luanne is now talking with James, and she's like, well, James, congratulations. You made it into my bedroom, the inner quarters of the Countess, which means you get to see my seduction show. America, watch how a pro does it. Sit on that couch. I'm giving you a hat show. You ready? Now, this is a hat. Da-da-da-da-da. Hat, 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 hat. Da-da-da-da-da. Hat, 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 hat. Are you turned on yet by my fedora?
What are you talking about? Get it? I thought one of the show. Belly?
He's like, oh, is there anything you don't look sexy in?
A bush,
Yeah.
some would say.
I don't like a wrap dress. I'll give you that much. Don't feel very sexy in that. Barbara kind of stole that from me.
So back to Adam and Shannon. He's like, it's really nice having privacy, kind of. She's like, well, I've never sat out here once. It's just so airy and outdoors. And, ooh, so many germs out here coming from the other floors. You never know who's above you or below you or on the sides of you. This is pretty disgusting. So would you like to wipe a booger down my face or something? Is this supposed to be romantic?
Thank you for bringing me into this veritable arena of allergens. I'm loving it out here.
So she's like,
No, I'm waiting to see if Adam will kiss me, see if we have chemistry.
and so they're just sitting out there, and he's like holding her arm, and they're sitting side by side, and he's just staring at his knees, and she's staring at her knees, and she's like,
Oh, well, Hey, Adam, have you ever wondered what would happen if we both started to say the letter O and then looked at each other and pressed our faces against each other? Would we form the letter? Let's try it.
Oh. And he's like, well, I'll walk you to the door.
He's like, oh, things with Shannon are really evolving nicely. I could really see her in Cameroon. I'll see myself out.
She goes, okay, well,
She's doing that thing where she's holding her head sideways, like trying to hide her face with her hair. She's like,
oh, yeah, okay. I'm just a girl standing here in a bookshop trying not to be a movie star.
I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy, asking him to get her some Claritin after that balcony experience.
so they hug, and then she kind of like kisses his cheek, kind of like,
Okay, well, if you won't get the ball rolling, I'll start. I'll give you a little cheek kiss, and you can go for the lips. No? Okay, well, that's fine, too. I can remain unkissed. Thank you so much.
yeah. So then the next day, dun, dun, dun.
Oh, so Shannon is like, well, I didn't get a kiss. Maybe it's time to move on from both Adam and Earl.
Dun,
yeah,
dun,
because she's
dun.
like, I guess I'm not enough. I guess you need some Luanne in me too, apparently. So the next day, Adam, it's the next day, sorry. James is sitting out at a table, and he's playing guitar, because of course this guy's playing guitar. You know, when he first came onto the show, you know, he's a handsome guy, and he was like wearing this blazer. I thought he was going to be kind of like a Don Draper, silent, mysterious type businessman. And he's just total wackadoodle. And now he's got his guitar, and he's like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Oh, a backing band. Finally, a musician around here. Okay. Love Hotel, Love Hotel, Love Hotel, the Hotel of Rice.
It is the most basic shit you've ever heard. He's like,
Love Hotel, Love Hotel, Love Hotel. Thank you. Do that. That's baby arm. I was playing that with my dick. Okay.
It was so cringy. Oh, it was so hard. It's hard to watch because, look, there's nothing wrong with playing the guitar. But if you're that guy who's in the middle of like a party, say, they're always that guy. He's like, hey, I brought my guitar. I know G, E, and A. Let's see what we can get. And they just play their shitty 3 chords badly over and over again. Go home. Just go home.
Yeah.
Or I'll go home. You know what? You sit here, I'll go home.
Mm-hmm. That's like, I think I told the story before about one time I randomly somehow got invited over to Adrian Grenier's house, and he had like 10 people over. And like midway through the night, he pulled out a guitar and he just had it behind his back. And he was like, yeah, I got this guitar, but he never played it the entire time. I think he played like three. I was like, what? Why do you have this guitar? And I said, do you play guitar? He's like, no. I was like, fine. See you on the Love Hotel, Adrian Grenier.
That's so on brand. So Ralph and Ashley are walking, and he's like, I'm just trying to be respectful. Should I not be? She's like, well, we broached some things that showed my intentions and my premeditated desires, habeas corpus. And then they make out. Ooh, ooh. Ralph make out sounds. Ooh,
So then Shannon.
now all the men are singing Love Hotel. This needs to stop.
Let's not make this a thing. Let's not make this the next What Would Jesse Solomon Do? So Shannon pulls Earl aside. She's like,
Earl, can we talk in my room? I got a special steak for you.
he's like, well, you don't have to say my name twice.
That was a joke, Earl. You should be onto vegetables now.
I've just been replaying my scene with Earl over and over in my head for the last couple of days. I'm just not okay where we left everything now that I'm all alone again and have no options of people to kiss me. So I guess I'll make another effort towards second choice Earl.
Are you doing okay, sweetie, honey, sweetie?
Yes, I'm okay.
Ups and downs as always,
Oh, you're
that's
doing
how
the
I
stair
feel.
climber. No, actually, I mean figuratively. Oh, well, that's too bad.
All right.
Okay.
Ups and
well,
downs. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say ups and downs, just like the pollen count. I read this morning it is up again. More like ups and ups.
It's important for me to have a serious conversation with Earl. Earl, I wanted to bring you in so we could have a conversation, just you and I. I wanted to have this privately. It's Limitation Day, and I want to give this to you.
And she hands
It's
him
a
an
pair of
envelope.
longer shorts, so that way when you sit on the sofa, America sees more than just your crotch.
And she tells us,
What's in this envelope is going to be his parting gift.
and she hands him this envelope, and he opens it and unfolds the paper, and we don't see what's on it, but he just starts, he's like, he starts crying. It's like,
Yes, Earl, that is a food pyramid.
This here is what we call a kohlrabi. I think you should try it.
If you make a dent in the bottom end and turn it upside down, it would be a heart. Okay, so let's work on that.
So he says, well, I'm not usually at a loss for words as long as they're quiet. They can't be too loud. And I opened it, and the only word I saw in there was, I don't know. I just started to cry, and something's going on, and I'm not sure what it is.
and Earl's crying and shaking. I mean, what the hell does that letter say?
My guess is that like Shannon was like,
Earl, I really like you. I don't see a future with you, but I want to help you. So I found someone who was going to pretend to be your son and is going to get that motorcycle out of your garage.
He's like, I can't believe it. Well, Shannon just crushed a man, so that was fun to watch.
I know. I feel like she's won. I think she's needed to do that her entire life, and she finally got to crush a man. Bring a
I
man
can't
to
believe it.
tears.
I really thought she was ending up with Earl. I still believe it. I still believe she's ending up with Earl.
I think so. I think this is a misdirection. I think she's not eliminating Earl. I think that she is. She's giving him something like a second chance. That's a coupon to Erewhon. I'm not sure.
A coupon. All right, well, that was sure fun, everybody. Thanks for being here with us for Love Hotel. We have a very special episode Friday which is an interview with Serena from Below Deck Down
Yeah.
Under. So join us for that. And get this on video and all of our bonus episodes. We're still on our 3-part road trip, which is all videotaped. It's really fun. Go check that out on our bonus episodes last week, this week, and next week. And don't forget, we are back for Love Island coverage on Patreon starting in June. We sure love you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.